Welcome back to Lenz's Comic Corner, Classics / Non-Classics, episode number 954, and Doubleshot number 848. Two Green Arrow trades. Haven't done one of these in a while. Yeah, I think the last one I reviewed was, I believe, was the third volume of the the most recent volume for the series. These are two trades from the previous volume. The one started from 2011, ended just a few years ago. Okay, first up, it is Green Arrow Volume 4, Kill Machine. Yep, well, it's called The Kill Machine. And you can tell by the cover that despite the fact this was the series was still going on like a year prior to the start of the Arrow TV show, the look of the way Green Arrow looks in here, yeah, even inside the book, he kind of reminds me of the actor who portrayed him on Smallville. Yeah, that's what he looks like. In the book, he kind of looks like that too. Heck, the outfit is pretty much like pulled directly from the Smallville TV show. The comic itself will later incorporate stuff from Arrow, but this is pulled directly from Smallville, from the actor. I think his name is Justin Haley, the actor who portrayed him on the TV show. So there's that. And this book contains issues 17 and 14 of Green Arrow volume. I believe this is volume 5, though online listed as volume 6 because they included like the last two issues of Green Arrow Black Canary somehow another volume, which is kind of weird. Yeah, it continues issue 17 to 24 and the Count Vertigo 23.1 issue. This is basically the start of Jeff Lemire's run in this book. And of course he has Andrea Sorrento as the artist. Good choice. The art in here is really good. Yeah. The thing I basically praise about this run is that it feels like Green Arrow. Yes. You basically see the word Green Arrow, you read the book, and it feels like Green Arrow. Though some of the elements of this one we could carry on even into Ben Percy's run when he does Rebirth. Now in here, we get basically the post-Flashpoint introductions to two characters who are basically been associated with Green Arrow for years and never made appearance prior to this in the current continuity. First one we have is, of course, Well, the two that pop up in here are Shadow and Count Vertigo, which, by the way, they gave him a complete redesign. Yeah. Now, when my friend Tivia saw this image, he's like, when the heck did this happen in this run? Let me show you what the guy looks like. It's, okay, here he is. Here is, that's not it. I think I missed it. Here we go. Here is Count Vertigo. This is what he looks like now. It's not the original look he had since the 70s when Jerry Conway and Trevor Von Eeden basically created him back in World's Finest number 249. Yep, this is his current look right now. Yeah, well, that was his look up until they brought him into the current volume of the book, where they gave him a complete different redesign. Oh, in case you're wondering, his last name was not basically Vertigo, like it was previously. His real full name is Count Werner Vertigo. This one, his real name is Werner Zaphet. This version of Count Vertigo was featured in Arrow for like one episode, and like this guy better than the original guy who was they claimed to be Count Vertigo. They also introduced a new villain here named Komodo, who, yes, he did appear in Arrow for one episode of season 3. Though when he made that episode appearance, that was like 1 year after his debut in the comic books. Yeah, that was like also like not long after he got killed off in the comics. Yes. I mean, Komodo is not the only new character introduced in here. They also have a new character called Magnus. And you also have Emiko, who was actually just featured in the most recent season of Arrow, which I haven't watched yet. Yeah, Emiko, who is Green Arrow's half-sister. My guess is Lemire must have took the idea from Arrow because, well, he has half-sister in Arrow, so why not give him a half-sister in the comic book? Though the thing is, I don't know if Emiko Queen's mother is Shadow in the show, because I haven't watched the most recent season of the show. And here, her mother is Shadow. And here's the thing. Shadow and Robert Queen, Oliver Queen's father, were lovers. Yep, they were lovers. And if you look at Shadow looks like a woman probably around her, I'd say around early to mid-30s. Oliver is supposed to be his mid to late 20s. Yeah. So, they're both closely around the same age, so if you see Emiko Queen currently, she's pretty much in her mid-teens. There's no explanation of why in the world it's like this. Also, Emiko Queen. Now, this is basically her debut appearance. Now, also, let me show you off Komodo. Yes, Komodo. The main villain, well, a majority of this run. Yeah. This is Komodo. And I gotta praise the fact that Arrow, they actually got his costume look right. And, yeah, they did have a black guy portray him on the show. I didn't have a problem with that. I'm happy they featured him on the show, which, why not? He is a new villain, so why not introduce him? Yeah, they also tease a relationship between Henry and Fifi. Here's Emiko Queen, the daughter of Robert Queen and Shadow, which there was a lie set up at the start of this that Emiko is the daughter of Komodo. Yeah, that was actually a bit lie. Yeah, it's revealed about halfway through this set of issues here, revealed by Shadow, that Shadow is indeed Miko's mother, but her father is not Komodo but Robert Queen. Yes. Green Arrow is actually very shocked about this particular thing. And of course, Shadow basically does agree with his of how he feels about his father and how much he loved his mother, which that is indeed true. She does mention he did really love Moira Queen. Yeah, they were lovers, but he still loved his wife. Yep. But of course, in here we also have Count Vertigo coming to Seattle. Because why not? Because in the comics, Count Vertigo frequently show up in Star City, so why not show up in Seattle? Though it kind of bugs me the fact that he's in Seattle instead of Star City. Yeah, I have no idea why this is. Though, I should point out, though, during Mike Rowe's run, for I'd say almost the entire issue run, he was actually living in Seattle. Yep. And of course, the thing starts off with basically, apparently, he lost his company. Somehow. Yeah. And they also have Steve Trevor pop up in here for like a quick cameo. Yeah, he basically wants to lay the police and FBI for 24 hours so he can clear his name. He does. I think he does clear his name. I'm not really sure, but yeah. But this is actually a really good start for this particular run. And the Vertigo issue is actually Count Vertigo's backstory, where it's a completely different backstory the way he was given in the previous continuity, where he's still from the same country, still got that, he's still a Count. But unlike Arrow, when he made a freaking drug dealer, here, he's a Count, and he's a criminal. The only difference is that they slightly changed his backstory a bit, where apparently he was an orphan, and apparently his mother sold him there for some reason, and then he kills his mother, and then he burns the house she was staying in. Yeah, but despite that, this is still really, really good. I give this book a 9.5 out of 10. I highly recommend everybody who loves Green, who really is big fans of Green Arrow. This is the run that basically, kind of in a way, in my honest opinion, this run saved the book. Because Anacente basically an okay run, but this is much better than Anacente came up with. No offense, Anacente, of course, I haven't reviewed her run yet, but yeah. But now we go to the ending. Now I think the ending. Wait, that was the first volume, first of 3. Yeah, I don't have volume 5, so I can't exactly review Outsiders book, but I can review volume 6, Broken. This contains issues 32 to 34, Green Arrow volume 5, Figures and One Shot, and Secret Orders number 4. Still by the same creative team. Now, the trade starts off with the Secret Orders issue, basically detailing Green Arrow's backstory, which somewhat the same, and at least gotta praise the fact that it's the same creative team. That's one thing interesting to say about Green Arrow during Jeff Lemire's run. Same artist, never changes the whole run, which you gotta at least gotta praise him for that. Like a lot of other runs where they kept changing artists on a few issues. At least in the case of Lemire, he actually kept the same artist the whole run. And fun fact, I actually own these issues. Yeah, I actually own the issues individually. I came in the box though, but I actually own these issues. Yep. Now, after what happened in Outsiders War, basically Green Arrow. Also, I forgot to mention, at the end of issue 24 is the debut of John Diggle. Yep, Diggle is in the comics now. Though after this run, he would show up in Andrew Kreisberg's run, and then he disappeared. He didn't show up again until Rebirth. But in the case of here, now it's all set up in here as well. This storyline right here is set up in here by having the debut of Richard Dragon. Now I can tell, but look at this guy. This is not Richard Dragon. It's not saying images of Richard Dragon. I know what the guy looks like. He's Asian. He's a martial artist. He trained the Question and Lady Shiva to fight. Also, they also had a debut character named was the Butcher. The Butcher is a character from pre-Flashpoint, but he's not that well-known of a character. Yeah, here they reveal the whole thing about the Outsiders, where unlike the superhero team, this is basically a group of clans, basically, who work together to like fight corrupt government and stuff like that. And each of the clans are represented by an arrow, a sword, a shield, a fist, a tomahawk, basically Butcher. Yeah. I love the fact they didn't choose Butcher. I mean, Butcher has only made up a Green Arrow once, and that was in a miniseries done by Mike Grell back in the 1990s. A really good miniseries featured Green Arrow, The Question, and The Butcher. It was, simply put, a Brave and Bold type miniseries. I highly recommend checking it out. I don't know why it's not on the collecting trade yet. And in here, this is basically what happens after Outsiders War. Green Arrow arrives home, apparently, because of his personal vendetta happened at Outsiders War. Yeah, he comes home, and he is confronted by... Really? He's confronted by 3 villains. Killer Moth. Yeah, Killer Moth, a Batman villain. Yes, Killer Moth. Yeah, there was a joke around this particular point in time that apparently Green Arrow was stealing Batman villains. So why not use Killer Moth, a guy who basically, this was technically his first post-Flashlight appearance, so he did appear in the previous storyline. We also have a new character, Red Dart. Yep, also appearance in the previous storyline, and the first post-Flash appearance of Brick, who is a Green Arrow villain, by the way. Yeah, but they completely changed his look. Yeah, in the previous continuity, this guy had red skin. Yeah, let me show off basically Brick. Yeah, he's this big hulking guy, which apparently in this continuity they gave him dreadlocks for some reason. I do not know why. It's particularly very bizarre thing. Let's take a good look at Brick. Yeah, this right here is Brick, which is basically a slight different redesign. But yeah, that is Brick. Yeah, he's a villain from, believe it or not, showed up in, if I remember correctly, I think he's a creation of, I think it was either Judd Winnick or Kevin Smith created this guy when they did their run for Green Arrow. That run that lasted from, I think it was like 2000, I think it was 2003 to, I think it was like 2009, I think it was. Yeah, it was a 75-issue run. That's what he showed up in. So, Green Arrow versus the Longbow Hunters. That is what they call themselves, the Longbow Hunters. And they mentioned here, but yeah. Yeah, Longbow Hunters. Like, that's actually a nod to a Green Arrow miniseries from the 1980s. Written and drawn by Mike Grell. Yep. And Miko shows up in here to help out Oliver deal with, well, the whole thing with Richard Dragon, a.k.a. Richard Graz, which apparently about 4 years prior to present day, apparently one of the few times that Oliver Queen wasn't wearing the costume, Diggle went out and took down Rico Draz Sr., and his son really wants to take him out. Okay, fine. I even love the scene between him and Oliver in the elevator. It's like, good to see you, man. Yeah, because, well, he had fired him 4 years prior to this, and he's happy to see him. Yeah, one of 2 characters that Green Arrow fired and basically is happy to see him. That also happened in this book as well. Yeah, and of course, it seemed as though that Henry really wanted to confess his feelings to Nomi, and apparently it's implied that at the end of the storyline that, well, Miko tells Nomi that says he loves you. He says, I know. And of course, because the fact she did a fantastic job helping out Green Arrow in the storyline, she becomes his apprentice. Not a bad idea to do. At least gotta give praise to Lemire for doing that. Though this apprenticeship would not follow up in Andrew Kreisberg's run. Nope. Where does Miko go in the storyline? She goes off to a temple. Though she does return for Ben Percy's run. I'm not sure why that Andrew Kreisberg basically didn't use her authorized run. Yeah, but this is fantastic. This book, a 9.5 out of 10. If I get my hands on Volume 5, I will do my final thoughts on this brief but fantastic run for Green Arrow. And in my honest opinion, this run saved the title. Yes, because I think that, this is my theory prior to Lemire taking the book, I think the series was on the verge of cancellation because I think people just probably didn't like and the Santies were much less way it was when the series first started. When this one first started, back in 2011, in the course of 6 issues, the book already went through about 4 writers. Yes, because apparently DC at the point just couldn't have their editors they couldn't stop their editors for some strange reason from interfering in the damn books. Yeah, this is why a lot of writers left DC at this period of time. Because they hated the constant interference that editors kept doing. And plus, what I heard, that the environment was very toxic back then. Luckily enough now, from what I heard, it's a very nice place now. It's not as toxic as it once was. Probably because DC must have realized, oh, hey, this place is toxic. We're going to clean this place up. We're going to fire all these dumb editors. Yep. Though I think like the only person who's come back who has left DC, off the top of my head, I think it was just Robertson. I think he was the only one who actually has come back, who actually left DC during the whole thing of the mass exodus of writers with the Marvel or Image. As far as I know, he's the only one who's come back, probably because DC actually basically issued an apology, and that's probably the reason why he's giving Wonder Woman. Yep. Lemire, as far as I can tell, he did come back. He has since come back to DC to do, I think he does Terrifics right now. Yep. Though he doesn't have this artist on him. I don't know where this artist is right now, but yeah, I don't know what book she's on now, but I don't know if it's a she or not. Yeah, it's probably a she because the name Andrea. Yeah. But these 2 books are fantastic, okay? So that's it for this particular review, and that's the last video I'm doing today. I have no videos planned for tomorrow. Yeah, nothing planned for tomorrow, but Friday, 2 videos planned as far as I know. That I review newest episode of JoJo Adventures and the newest chapter of My Hero Academia. Okay? But there's the next few. Bye.